Hello everybody, Guys a Pirate here and welcome back to another commentary. Now, today's video may not be as interesting or entertaining as some other ones because I want to talk about something a little more serious. Now, as most of you will know, a girl named Amanda Todd committed suicide not too long ago after being bullied continuously at school, at home, and dealing with all these other problems to the point of not being able to cope with it. And it got me thinking a bit, and I felt I wanted to do a video on bullying. I think I've done one before, but I wanted to go a bit more in depth with it this time, having been a victim of bullying myself throughout primary school and early high school. Now, in regards to this girl, Amanda Todd, I know there's a lot of controversy on the internet about the reasons and mistakes and all this stuff that are surrounding it. I'm not here to discuss that. The point is, someone took their own life after being pushed by other people to the point of not knowing any way out of it besides that. And I can't help but shake my head at what are these bullies thinking, well, just bullies in general. I mean, you sit and think, what pushes these people to want to create hell for other people, particularly during school with things are sensitive enough as it is. What do they hope to gain out of it? I mean, sure, people who are bullying, you hear the usual story, they're lower on self-esteem, they need to push themselves, beat others down to push themselves higher, all of that stuff. But when it starts to involve people taking their own lives for it, it becomes a really, really serious problem. And I don't know if people are really taking into account of how serious it is. I mean, this is probably the second story this week I've heard about someone killing themselves after being bullied for some little thing they may or may not have done. I mean, it's really ridiculous, and the people who are bullying these people to such an extent need to stop and think, well, this person has died because of something they have done now, so there is blood on those bullies' hands because of their actions and not knowing when to stop and what behavior is reasonable and what is going too far to make someone uncomfortable. Because bullying creates so many problems for people. First one of those would be self-esteem issues. I mean, they start to think, well, people keep doing this to me, there must be something wrong with me, and they start blaming themselves for everything that's happening, even when they have absolutely no control over it. They start to lose all value in themselves, which then pushes them to harm themselves and sometimes eventually kill themselves. I mean, people don't deserve to have to put up with this. But coming onto that, I also have a very big problem, particularly with online social media, when after someone hears about someone dying, you see these pages up about the rest in peace for this certain person, saying all this good stuff about them. But where were these people when these people were still alive? I mean, if people really cared about someone, they wouldn't wait until after they died to start saying all this good stuff about them. I mean, think of the message they're sending out to impressionable teens. I mean, they'll look at them and think, okay, for anyone to think any kind of good of me, I'm going to have to kill myself because that's the only way to get any sort of appreciation and I really do hate this. I mean, as I said, where was all this good and care when the person was still alive? Now all of that is too late. It's meaningless almost. I mean, it's great to show honest care and condolences for someone when they have died, but it shouldn't have to get to that point. I mean, people are always talking about, putting an end to bullying, putting it completely. I've lost my train of thought. What I mean is, people don't seem to care until something bad happens. It seems to be no one seems to take any notice of it until something bad has actually happened. Now, it doesn't need to get to that point. I mean, sometimes all it takes is to go find a friend or find someone who's not seeming all that great, and go and see what you can do for them, help them, talk to them. Sometimes they just need someone who will listen to them and understand what they're going through. That's all someone needs often. I mean, I have gone through bullying, as I said, for about 8 years worth of it, and I'm still here, and there are plenty of other people who have gone through bullying and survived. That's the success, I suppose you could call them success stories, but I don't kind of like that in a way. But what I mean is, the media and people are always going on about all these people who get bullied and end up committing suicide, but they seem to forget about the people who have gone through it and are still here. That can be used as some form of inspiration for people who are going through bullying. They don't have to think that the only way out of it is to commit suicide or to harm themselves or anything serious like that. There are ways out of it, and my message to people being bullied is, it gets better. Trust me. I mean, you will, sure, it's going to affect you. It's not going to be easy, but if you can stay with it, stay strong, you will get through it, and people will congratulate you for it. Because sometimes you don't realize how strong you are when it's the only until it's the only option you have. And I mean, especially through high school and all that, when most of this happens, there is so much more to life than the crap that high school brings you. I mean, if you're feeling there's no way, think of it this way: high school is only 6 years of your life. It's hardly anything compared to the possibilities that you could have in your future, and that is what you've got to aim for. Use that as your motivation to get through it. And if you don't be afraid to ask for help. You would be surprised just how many people out there are willing to help you if only you ask for it. We're not all mind readers, so if you're having trouble, don't be afraid to ask family, friends. Most schools have a well-being center, there are helplines, and you know, all these people who are willing to make your life better. Don't become another statistic, is all I can say. And a little message for people who are making other people's lives hell. Let me say a big fuck you for making life difficult for people who don't deserve your shit, and go and find something more productive to do other than just being some hopeless person who takes no greater joy in making life hell for other people. It is not necessary, and people don't need it, because I tell you what, you would not believe how much people suffer for the kind of crap that you put them through. So I think that's about all from me today, and I will catch you later. Guys, Pirate out.